Okay, this is Thomas Logan Voss. He is originally from Wilmington, North Carolina, and his college and career goals are to attend the U of I for engineering and own his own off-road garage one day. Welcome.
So today I'm going to be talking about something a lot of people don't think about. I'm going to be talking about lifesaving, more specifically first aid and CPR. Personally, I've had quite a few close brushes with death. The closest encounter I've probably had was when I was about 9 years old. It was a normal spring afternoon. I had just gotten done with school. I was just hanging out watching TV, waiting for my friends to come over when there was a knock at the front door. It was my friend from down the street. He comes over about the same time every day. So I leapt up from my seat and took off running towards the door to open it up for him. At about 3 or 4 feet from the door, I tripped and fell. Fell into the door, and my left arm fell through the window next to the door. First, I wasn't too concerned with my well-being. I was more concerned with, oh shit, what is my dad going to do when he finds out I broke the window? Then I started to retrieve my arm from the door. That's when I noticed the horrifying amount of blood running from my bicep to my fingertips. At this point, I start to panic. I start to freak out. I start to scream. Thankfully, because of my mom's maternal instincts, she knew exactly what had happened and was there in a flash. She came in, grabbed my arm like this, lifted it above my head, kept pressure on the wound, and dragged me to the bathroom by my arm where she could get a towel, wrapped the towel around my arm, and call 911. Thankfully, she had some sort of background in first aid. Otherwise, I probably would not be talking about this to you guys because I had nicked the brachial artery in my arm. I could have bled out in about 3 minutes in my front room. Now, personally, I've never had to give CPR to anyone. I have been very close to someone who has had to give CPR before. It was 3 or 4 years ago. It was my first year as a lifeguard. I was guarding the shallow end of the pool when I heard a horn blast over my left shoulder, which means lifeguard in the water, assisting the save is necessary. Seemed like a normal save. Happens a lot. Kids think they can swim all right because they're actually touching the bottom in the shallow end, so they go and try the deep end. They try going off the diving board. This time, the boy had no idea what he was doing. He jumped in, went down about 8 feet, panicked a little bit, tried to swim back up to the surface, got a couple feet from the surface, tried to take a breath, and just inhaled a whole bunch of water. He popped up for a split second, and then was just back under. He was gone. So the lifeguard got in, got the boy, and tried to bring him to the wall, but by the time the boy had gotten to the wall, he'd already passed out. He'd lost consciousness, he'd lost breathing. This is when we heard the second horn blast, which means medical emergency, clear the pools, go assist in the save. It took us about 5 minutes to clear the pools entirely. By the time we had the pools completely cleared, the boy had already been revived by just basic CPR, just chest compressions and breathing. I don't know about you, but that is pretty amazing. Just something you can learn in an afternoon can save someone's life. I've been talking to you guys about first aid and CPR for a little bit now. Some of you may know what it is, some of you may not. Don't worry, I'm about to explain it. Basically, CPR is cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Essentially what it is you are breathing for the person and you're pumping blood for them. There's mouth-to-mouth respiration where you open up the airways. For lifeguards, we never actually did mouth-to-mouth. We had this rubber donut thing that has a tube on the back of it, so you don't have to go mouth-to-mouth, but you put it on their face, get a seal on it, and breathe in. You're inflating their lungs, allowing oxygen to rush in and sort of revive their body. And then you're doing chest compressions, and you're putting your hand right here in the middle of their chest, right between their nipples, pushing down pretty hard and pumping oxygenated blood back through their body. You're pumping blood to their vital organs like their brain and their heart. And then there's first aid. First aid, simply put, is essentially just immediate care given to a victim in a bad situation before medical professionals can arrive. Its goal is to either reverse or stop harm entirely. It's basic stuff like applying pressure to a wound, clearing eyes and skin of chemicals, clearing airways, that's like giving the Heimlich maneuver to someone, stuff like that. Now some of you may be thinking, why do I need to know this? I'll never have to use this. Someone else will know what to do. It's no big deal to me. I have a couple statistics that will probably change that outlook for you guys. According to the Red Cross, there are about 150,000 completely preventable deaths a year. That's basic stuff like putting pressure on a wound, giving someone the Heimlich maneuver when they're choking on something, stuff like cleaning a wound after a scrape or something like that, because then it can become infected and eventually kill the person. And then according to the American Heart Association, there are about 383,000 cardiac arrest cases annually that happen outside of hospitals. 88% of which of those 383,000 are at home. 4 out of 5 cases of cardiac arrest cases are at home. So that means if you are ever going to have to give CPR to anyone, it's more than likely going to be a friend or a loved one at home. Victims tend to see healthy. A cardiac arrest is not heart attacks. Heart attacks are when a muscle is blocked and it stops the heart from working correctly, and then it'll cause cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest is when electrical impulses in the heart become erratic or stop entirely, stopping the heart. Now, giving CPR to a cardiac arrest victim will double or even triple the survival rate of the victim. But only 32% of cardiac arrest victims receive CPR. Only 32%. That is a minute number. That is even less than a third. And that's the whole point of this talk for you guys, is to realize that how important this is. It's extremely important to know what to do in a bad situation, because I want to know that if I go into cardiac arrest or something like that, the guy next to me knows exactly what to do. I want that number to be 100%. Every cardiac arrest victim to have someone there to save their life. Now, you could say my life-saving career started when I was about 12 years old. I was a Boy Scout. I went to Camp Ingersoll for the first time. Took a couple merit badges, first aid and life-saving, basic stuff like that. Just learned simple stuff, just how to cover a wound, how to see hypothermia, how to see heat stroke, and what to do for that. A couple years later, when I turned 16, I became a lifeguard through the Peoria Park District. We went through the extremely extensive 3-day training, which you go from Friday evening to Sunday night. We go through everything from swim tests to different types of saves, and then stuff like seizures and cardiac arrest, what to do. And also, every day before we would open at Lakeview Pool, we would run through scenarios. We'd go through stuff, like I said, go through full scenarios of CPR, and then seizures and other basic stuff that happens a lot. And then we get to ask questions. We get to ask questions like, what happens if someone's having a seizure in the pool? What do you do? Or what if someone's running, they fall and crack their head open? What do you do immediately? So I'm pretty well versed in that stuff. Now, the whole point of this talk is to get you guys to go and learn more about this, learn more about this subject. So I've compiled a short list of training, the basic training sort of stuff. Classes run about 2 to 3 hours long. They cost, some don't. They'll cost from $50 to $150, depends on when you sign up. If you sign up late, like the day before, it's usually sign up a couple weeks in advance. It's pretty cheap. Red Cross offers the most classes, no doubt. They offer a class at least once a weekend for CPR. ICC actually offers a course. I'm not sure if you get credit for it, but right now you just need to get on a waiting list for next semester. Most employers offer CPR courses. What they'll do is they'll call up Red Cross, American Heart Association, OSF, something like that. Have a group of people come in and have them teach their employees CPR and stuff. Some high schools are doing it now. I know for a fact Peoria Notre Dame is having once a year Red Cross come in and teach their students in study hall CPR and first aid. OSF St. Francis does offer a CPR course for the public, but it's only once a year. It's in September. It's extremely extensive though. So if you go take a Red Cross course and you want to learn more, you can go to this class, and it's about 5 to 6 hours long, and it is extremely extensive. You can ask anything. Now the whole point of this talk is to get you to go learn about this. I've said this before. What I want you to do after this is go look up the Red Cross online, American Heart Association, OSF. Come talk to me if you guys really want to. I can point in the right direction. Go watch a YouTube video. Go learn about it. Go to talk to anyone who is CPR certified. Whatever you do, whatever you learn, teach to someone else, because who knows, that person could be saving your life.